Caribbean Label Craft is a high-end, high value-added label producer. They really found their niche in that market and decided that that was who they were going to service, and they were going to service them the best they possibly could. Yeah, there's 37 years behind us right now, but it's only just getting going now. The technology in the market has really changed, and we've now really embracing that change.
In 1986, the market was a lot smaller. Within the distilled spirits industry in the region, much of their production was being done sheet-fed offset, and much of the premium quality labels were being imported into the region from sources out of North America and Europe. When we established this business, we set out to change that dynamic and to become a regional supplier to the industry, as opposed to having the industry importing most of its packaging and most of its labeling from outside of the region. Back in 1991, we purchased our first 10-color press because at that time, you really needed that 10-color configuration to give you all of the flexibility to produce your metallized labels and your clear-on-clear labels. So we invested in our first 10-color press in 1991. And since then, every investment that we have made in this company, every machine, every software investment has always been geared towards that high-end market, the high-quality, highly embellished, high-value-added market. And we have developed, I think, a very good reputation for ourselves across the region as being the supplier of choice for the distilled spirits industry in the region.
Caribbean Label Crafts is built on 3 pillars of quality, excellence, and craftsmanship. And craftsmanship is something that we still drive home. The newer presses are always talking about how it's easier for you. And of course, when it becomes easier, that takes the craftsmanship out of it. We don't allow that to happen. We keep our guys at the top of their game, and that be from our designers to our pre-press people to our press operators, that the craft is involved every step of the way. And then we're able to provide and deliver on something that is unique and better for the customer.
Well, being based on the island of Barbados, you have to understand that as we are an island, there are higher costs than what you would see in the mainland United States or Europe. We have to import all of our raw materials. As you said, we export 93% of our production. And it is a relatively high-cost manufacturing environment. Our focus from virtually the beginning of our business has been on high-quality, highly embellished, high-value-added labels. And we have developed a niche market over the years of servicing the distilled spirits industry, the rum industry in the Caribbean. So today, we export 93% of our production to 32 different islands and countries in the Caribbean and in Central America. And out of that, just over 80% goes into the rum industry across the region. The business is a very creative business, and given the high-end requirements of the distilled spirits industry, we have found that it's good for us to have our own in-house design department. We actually take care of the entire process from concept, design, production art, pre-press, plate making. All of that is done in-house. All of that is actually done here by very dedicated, very creative craftsmen and women. We only go outside for tooling such as cutting dies, hot foil stamping dies, embossing dies, but all of the design and art and pre-press is all done in-house. We've found that By having our own creative department, we've developed a good customer base across the region who will come to us for new design work, who will come to us for conceptualizing new labels and packaging. They will come to us when they are in the initial stages of their design and basically have discussions with us about what they're thinking, where their designs are going, so that we can actually have an input at that point in time on things like raw materials, finishes, embellishments. So having that creative end of the business just works very well with the industries that we're supporting in the Caribbean region.
They said somewhere that a label has 2 to 3 seconds to get your attention on the shelf. And so we have to work with our customers, we work with their marketing people, and to come up with an image that's going to help get those eyeballs looking at your product and eventually having those hands take that product off the shelf. No, we deal with some local distillers, but we also deal with the larger multinationals, Campari, Remy Cointreau, Edrington. They have a different demand level. They are far more sophisticated, and they know what they want, and they want what they want.
Yeah, we're very much a regional company. We've started and grown here on the island of Barbados, but in 2015, we opened a digital plant in Kingston, Jamaica, and that plant has grown well over the years and has just been expanded this year with the installation of a 17-inch 8-color conventional flexographic press. That plant serves the market in Jamaica primarily and some of the northern Caribbean islands. And next year, we will be opening a new facility in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Our strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years is to develop the concept of one business, multiple plants, so that we are serving the Caribbean region from 3 different locations instead of 1. We're serving the Caribbean region from 2 plants in English-speaking countries and 1 plant in a Spanish-speaking country. We are covering the region, and we're also mitigating the risk to our customers because we're not a single plant operation on the island of Barbados. We are now a multi-plant operation across the Caribbean region. That also helps us a lot with controlling and reducing our shipping costs because all of our raw materials are imported. So 100% of our raw materials are imported and 93% of our production is exported. Now with facilities in Jamaica and in Santo Domingo in the DR, we can actually reduce those import costs and those export costs and be a far more competitive company while providing a wider range of services to our customers. Because we needed to upgrade our technology at Caribbean Label Craft, we wanted to move forward and be in a position to offer our customers in the Caribbean a much wider range of options for their label business. And we realized that the future of our business lies very much in hybrid printing, the combination of conventional flexographic printing and UV inkjet digital printing. We started back in 2020 to look at our options, to look at what equipment was available in hybrid technology, a number of different machines. In all of those instances, the equipment that we looked at was a combination of a manufacturer's flexographic press into which had been inserted another manufacturer's UV inkjet digital print engine. And we weren't comfortable with that. We didn't quite like the idea of 2 different machines combined. And as we researched more and got deeper into it, we discovered the Bobst Master Digital M5, the DM5 press. And for us, that was like a revelation moment, because here is a press that checked all our boxes, did everything that we wanted it to do, and it's one single manufacturer from the unwind to the rewind and everything in between. Bob's checked the boxes, and that's why we have the M5 today.
Demands we have nowadays: faster turnarounds, lower costs. And in order to do that, you need to look at a digital solution where you can eliminate some of those startup costs and you can actually turn the work around quicker to meet those demands by the customer. With the DM5, we're now able to give the customers an all-in-one solution. We don't need to produce it, then take it to another piece of machinery to convert it. We've been involved in digital printing for 12 years now, but this is the first time we've taken it to this stage where we can put a roll on one side of the press, take the roll off at the other, and deliver it. The way the technology has been advancing and evolving is quite exciting. I remember when digital first came out and it was dubbed on-demand printing. And that stuck around for a little while, but now all printing is on demand, not just the digital any longer. So that's where a hybrid press comes into play, because you now have that versatility to provide on demand with the embellishments and the additional colors and so forth that you would not get from a digital only press.
You have to remember that when we made the decision last year to buy the Bobst DM5, we were coming from a position where for 35 years we had been working exclusively with two other flexographic press manufacturers and also another digital press manufacturer. And it was not an easy decision to make. We put a lot of time into making that decision. We did a lot of research in making that decision. I think Bobst may well think that we took too long, or it took us quite a long time to arrive at our conclusion. But we wanted to be very careful about what we were doing. So we sent technical people from Barbados to visit equipment manufacturers in the USA. We actually took files for I think something like 12 different labels on different substrates and different quality, and we sent to each of the manufacturers that we were discussing the project with. I was always cognizant of the fact that Bobst has been around for over 100 years. I think it's 133 years to be exact. I felt that obviously you don't get to be in business for 133 years and not be the top of your game. And essentially all of our research work, everything that we learned about Bobst, everything that we saw, we were impressed with the quality of the equipment. There was nothing that said to us, be careful, or think about this, or this might be a mistake. This press is a great combination of both Bobst's flexographic technology and their UV inkjet technology. And we were very comfortable in making the final decision to go with Bobst as opposed to any other supplier. Yes, it certainly does. It's only been a short time. The machine has been in production only for about 3 months. There is still a bit of a learning curve, and we're ramping up more and more every day. We're now running on 2 shifts. In the new year, we'll be going to 3 shifts. From what I have seen and from monitoring jobs that we've been running on the machine, I can tell you that we are having considerable savings in time and in raw materials. We've done some amazing work on the press. We've even taken the press into lightweight folding carton work and a whole range of different types of work, metallized paper, clear-on-clear material with cold foiling. And all of our numbers, when we compare them to what the same job would have cost us, either doing it conventional flexo or doing it on another type of digital press, all the numbers are coming back where we want them to be. So I can honestly tell you that we are seeing significant benefits and savings in the cost of raw materials and in time on the DM5 machine.
I'd like to say we could expand beyond the Caribbean and Central America. That would be very exciting. It wouldn't be easy, but I'd like to see our growth within the region to be that first in mind printer when it comes for that highly embellished label.